So it's been a while. We are at our third meeting? Fourth?
Technically fourth because we had orientation.
So we're going to have to go over what we did prior in the past couple weeks. Meeting 2, technically. Meeting 1.
The first meeting after orientation.
We covered a lot. Rules of the road, so be respectful, listen to people, don't interrupt. Things that could potentially, I don't want to say prohibit us from adopting, but things for us to consider, like traumatic brain injury or TBI. The amount of legal risk we want for adoption, whether it be, high risk where they can get put back into their home, or a low risk where the kid is ours.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we had an icebreaker meeting, which is us meeting the biological parents, but that's really only for adoption. We want...
What do you mean? Instead of just for adoption, it's for fostering and for older kids per se.
Yeah.
It's okay. And since we want to adopt a newborn child and basically have our own family, as long as they don't have siblings or, I don't know, I guess it depends on the situation. If we want to have that icebreaker meeting to meet the biological family or not. Technically we don't have to, but it's hard to put our opinions out there because there's so many situations, like what if the mother was too young? What if drugs were involved? What if sexual abuse or something? So each scenario would be different, so I really don't want to put our opinions out there yet. If we want to meet the biological family or not, we will, I guess, reveal that later down the road as we learn more, since we're just, in the beginning of the classes. It's too early to say,
We went over the 12 criterias to be an adoptive or foster parent.
Week 3, technically, right?
Meeting 2.
Meeting 2. We talked about the cycle of need, nurture and social control.
So usually 1 to 2 years old, mom and dad are a unit. Anything after 3, mom and dad are differential parental units. It's just how kids go about growing in general.
We talked about using strengths to communicate effectively, maintain confidentiality with HIPAA. So that's another thing. We don't really want to put too much information out there. We just want to show our experience only and what we are going through personally to share our story. So we're not going to mention anybody else. We're not, we're going to keep it confidentiality.
Mm-hmm. Confidential.
Yes, confidential. I'll edit that out later.
Like I said, we wanted no legal risk. We don't have to meet the bio parents.
And again, we don't have to, but maybe down the road we want to. Again, it just depends on the situations, if they have any siblings, why they're out for adoption. I just want to know the whole profile first,
So that was meeting 2. Meeting 3, we have, more stuff that we go over.
DCF stops home visits 1 to 2 months after adoption is finalized. And because we kept telling our friends and family that they do visit after adoption. We just didn't know how long, and we finally got that answer today.
If, we need anything, we can always call them and let them know, hey, our child is acting up. We need therapy, counseling, stuff like that.
And we could always call 211. I guess there's something AAP, which is Yukon Adoption Assistance Program. And then I guess EAP, if you're employed, they could also help with that situation as well.
A rule that we kind of learned is by the age of 1, the child needs to be sleeping in their own bedroom.
Which won't be a problem because we don't want to co-sleep anyway. If anything, if they are in a room, it would be a bassinet to make it easier for us for feedings, for formula and everything in the middle of the night. So again, that's all situational. We don't know yet what we're going to be doing for that. We also learned about situational loss compared to maturational.
Maturational.
Maturational?
Maturational.
Maturational?
Maturational.
I can't say it right.
So, a situational loss is something like an accidental death, something that isn't normal with growing up. So, like I said, an accidental death, your parents get divorced, something happens, you become mentally handicapped, physically handicapped. A maturational loss is
an event and a loss. For an example, an event would be a birth. The loss would be the losing the comfort of the womb, but the gain of it would be like life and growth. So it's just event, loss, and gains.
We went over the stages of grief today in class, which is
I already knew about, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I asked you. So, there's shock or denial, anger, bargaining, depression,
Unresolved anger.
which is unresolved anger, and acceptance or understanding, so that
You're able to move on.
yeah. We also learned today about how to turn losses into gains.
Learn about the advantages. An example, a loss can make you stronger. So therefore, when others, go through the grieving process, you're able to help because you're more understanding of the loss. So together, you could create a gain.
And it's pretty much where we're at.
And that's the last 3 classes that we have failed to tell you about. Now you know.
Send up with a lot of homework.
Oh my gosh. We had to do about 4 packets, plus an assignment, plus 2 letters. One for the biological family and one for meeting our child, our future child. And just writing the letters alone took over 2 hours because we want the words to be perfect and we want the perfect match, and it's hard. I won't lie.
It's a lot harder than we expected, but
we're learning, and I'd rather learn and be more prepared for when our baby comes. We will see you next week.